So, one of the things that we've been talking about in class recently is how to tell if an adjective describes a noun. And I know that was tricky in exercise 15b because if you have a word like, taranda meaning slow, close to kisia, how do you know if it describes kisia or if it describes plaustra? Because they have the same ending, seems to make sense both ways. So, like, how does this work? So, let's take a look today at how we determine if an adjective matches a noun. So, first things first. Nouns are people, places, things, or ideas. So things like puella, arbor, Italia, quisium, wir, okay? People, places, things, and ideas. Adjectives only exist in order to describe nouns. They have no other function. You can't just have an adjective by itself. You can't just be like blue. It doesn't make any sense. Seven what? There has to be a noun that goes with the adjective. Adjectives need nouns to survive. So, in Latin, since there is no word order, like in English, we're like, there is a blue cow, there are 12 trucks. You can tell in English really easily if something goes with a noun because it's right before it. As you know, in Latin, there is no word order. They did this for a variety of reasons, and it might irritate us, but it just is, so we have to accept it and learn how to decode it. Again, as you can imagine, it comes down to the endings, okay? So, remember, the noun is the boss. You can say, look, a truck, but you can't say, look, a red. That doesn't make any sense, okay? You need a noun, adjective will go with it. So, in Latin, an adjective has to be linked up. It has to have the same case, number, and gender as the noun it's describing. So, if a noun is feminine, the adjective has to be feminine. If a noun is in the nominative case, the adjective also has to be in the nominative case. And if the noun is singular, then the adjective also has to be singular. They have to match in case, number, and gender. So, in this sentence, I give the blanket to the tired girl. Let's take a look at that phrase, tired girl. The word girl is the noun. Tired describes her. So, tired is the adjective. So, which word is the noun? It's girl. Which word is the adjective? It's tired. So, in order to convey this in Latin, we need to know three things about the noun: case, number, and gender. So, the word girl is a noun that has inherent gender, right? So, what's the gender of the noun girl? It's feminine. Okay? What is the case of the noun girl? So, let's take a look at that. How is girl being used in this sentence? Remember, you can only determine case if you can see how the noun is being used in the sentence. So, to the tired girl. If we look at our noun flip charts, to or for a living being, where is that? It's on the dative case. So, this is going to be a noun that has a dative case ending. What number is it? To the tired girl. One girl, not girls, plural. So if it's one girl, we need it to be singular. So, puella, puellae is the word girl in Latin. This A tells us that this is a first declension noun. So we're going to be looking at those first declension endings. So, first declension endings, that's the A, AE, A, I, RM, E, SAS, ES. We need dative case, and we need singular. So if you're looking at the first declension column, singular is the top half, dative is the third ending. The third ending in the first declension, the ending that we're looking for are the letters A, E. Okay? So now we know what the boss needs. The boss is the noun. The boss needs dative singular, and it needs feminine. So the correct form of the word girl is puellae, because the dative ending for girl, singular, is AE. Now, how do we make the adjective match that? So the adjective meaning tired is defesos a. This us a tells us that this adjective will either take endings from the first declension, if the noun is feminine, or second declension, if the noun that it's describing is masculine or neuter. So, when looking at defesos a, we see the us a. That tells me that the endings are going to come from either first declension if the noun is feminine. then my adjective will also have endings from that first declension. Or if my adjective's dictionary listing ends in us, and the noun is masculine or neuter, I'm going to take endings from the second declension, not both, one or the other. So it ends in us. This is a first or second declension adjective. How do you know which one it is? It depends on the gender of the noun. If the noun is gendered feminine, it'll take first declension endings. If the noun is gendered masculine or neuter, it will take second declension endings. Since our noun puella is feminine, we're going to use the first declension endings for this adjective. So it's a first declension adjective. It has to be dative, singular, to match girl. The ending is going to be AE. You're probably thinking to yourself, Makishra, that was a lot of steps to come up with the same exact ending. Yet it is, except that it's not always going to be the same exact ending. So understanding the process is helpful in determining the right answer. So the final phrase to the tired girl in Latin would be puellai te feci. Okay? Now, this is a really important check for understanding. In Latin, as long as the noun and the adjective have an ending on the same row of the noun chart, row is a cross, then they could be a match. For example, fabulam brevem, you see, same row of the noun chart. Puellam fortem, same row of the noun chart. Patri optimo, same row of the noun chart. Okay? So now what I want you to do next is for homework for Monday, I want you to look at this exercise, exercise 16C. For each sentence, I want you to circle and translate all of the adjective noun pairs. That's it. So let's do number one together. For number one, you would circle alii serwi. I know they go together because they have the same ending. So alii serwi means some enslaved people. Now, let's keep scanning. Magnas quistas. I know these two go together because they have the same ending. Often it's the same exact ending. Also, adjectives and nouns will often be close to each other. Proximity matters. So these two words mean large trunks, like trunks that go for packing. So that's what you do. For each sentence, you're going to look for the noun adjective pairs. You're going to circle them or write them down and then translate the pairs. You do not have to translate the whole sentence. And we'll go over the work on Tuesday. Thanks, kids.